morning, FlossTube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl. This is my FlossTube channel. It is Sunday, April 10th, 2022, and this is FlossTube episode 41. Happy Sunday, and I am so happy to be here with you. That's a lot of happies, so I think this is going to be a good one. I have so much to share and a little bit of show and tell. I was trying to remember that. I haven't done it for a while. So I love to throw a little bit of a blast from the past that's not always mine. And I have a little bit of both today. So we'll do a little bit of show and tell later on. Let me just right away say that the giveaway from last week, the word was rockin'. And I will go ahead and just insert the winner at the end. It's was a very early start this morning with Philip and Randy, so I always allow the timing for the giveaway to go as long as it can, and he walked out the door and we were not able to get that done. Philip was a moving and a grooving, and that is just fine. So the winner will be announced at the very end. We will insert something, and then there's a new there'll be a new giveaway today. So hold tight, and let's go through just real quick. This is my FlossTube channel. It is primarily about cross stitching, and you will see today that every now and then there's another possibly little fiber art tidbit, but it's primarily my cross stitching journey, and it's just a great community and a great place to share our time, together as stitchers. It is also, let's see, I am now here on FlossTube. I also have my Instagram account, which is the same name, Finally a Farm Girl, as well as my Etsy shop, which is the same, Finally a Farm Girl. It's pretty easy. So I wanted to start off right away with the very first thing, and then we'll move on. That to all of you who have helped purchase and support the goal for this pillow behind Prevent Child Abuse, and specifically for Prevent Child Abuse, the chapter in Georgia, which is where my sister is the director. This was the cross-stitch design that I designed, and all the proceeds during the month of April through the Etsy shop are going to be donated to Prevent Child Abuse Georgia. So the update right now is we have, as of this morning, sold 65 patterns, and we are approaching a total of, I believe, about $300. We've got to take out some of the fees that come through Etsy, but that's okay. Anyways, I am so thankful, so very thankful to all of you who have supported this cause. And I know that some of you will stitch it right away, and some of you may just hold on to it. It doesn't matter either way. I will be excited if you do stitch it, and if you are on Instagram and you could tag me, I would love to see your own version of this. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that I consider this completely a we mission, because I just designed it. You are the ones that are out there making this donation happen on behalf of such a worthy cause. So that's it on that. I won't go any farther. It is obviously in my shop through the whole month of April, and we've got plenty of time to go. I will say my personal, that was the cat. My personal goal would be to reach $500. That is a goal. I would love to be able to donate $500, and I don't know why that number seems, I don't know, it just seems perfect to me. I would like to make a significant difference, and I've already thought of something else later on down the line that I would like to do myself, and I will share that with you later. It's just something that I have come across, something new that the Lord has placed on my heart, and I'm really excited that that he has. But it started here, and it started with it's called the PGA 2022, PCA 2022. Sorry, prevent child abuse. My dad just messaged not too long ago that he was watching the PGA tour, so that's where that came from. Anyways, okay, so moving on. What did I do this week? Let's see. Philip and I, Monday and Tuesday, got to take 2 walks, and that was fabulous. So I am doing this wellness challenge through my sister's this is just going to be a rough one, isn't it? PCA. They have put together this wellness program through April, and it's just another way. It's just another way that I can. It can be anything. It's something that brings your family together, but also it can be just yourself if it's to do a healthy activity is the best way to describe it, because it is not just exercise. It is also sitting down with a good book. So you track what you've done, and there's an app for it, and I've really enjoyed it. So Philip and I did some walking together, and then yesterday I walked 4 miles by myself, and I love it because I can just go to the app, turn it on, put my activity, it maps where I'm going. It's just been so fun. And you can read to your child if you have any, your grandchild, and you just submit that time. And so anyways, I did get a lot of walking in, and I think I'm probably up to, for sure, maybe 10 to 12 miles this week, not counting today. Let's see, what else? I went antique shopping with Philip. We got out in the middle of the week. I believe it was on Thursday. And I wish I had it here to show you, but at the same time, it's kind of big. I found a children's hutch that needs a little bit of loving, so my dad's gonna do that for me. Needs some paint, and I have a vision in my head as to how I would like to, let's say, Finally a Farm Girl designs, the cross stitch designing aspect of it, ever got to go to a show or a market of any sort. I've found a really cute way that I would like to display some of my pieces, and that hutch would be one of it, and it's really cute. So that was such an affordable purchase that I was so excited, and of course I dropped it off right at my dad's with a big smile on my face, and and so he has a project to do for me, and there's no rush on it, but it's really cute, and I will share it with you when it's done. Let's see. I also did movie night with my dad, but the fun part is that we never even got to the movie. We had blueberry pancakes, and we just sat and chatted. And sometimes I think that's just awesome. And we had some good conversation about everything. So that was fun. That was really fun. And actually, I was quite late. It was so late that my husband actually messaged and was like, "Are you guys okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're just chatting." So, it's really fun. I also did babysat on Friday for my grandkids, and it was just so sweet. Aria is going to be 4 in May, and Matthew is 1, and he's so used to coming here that when we showed up at their house, it's just a little harder for Philip, Matthew was perplexed as to what was going on in his house. And even though I've been there and babysat, but this particular time he was a little taken back, so he cuddled up into my arms. Heather had a little bit of mommy time. She's my oldest. And he fell asleep. And as a grandma, you just know that a 1-year-old just napping in your arms. Aria sat up next to him. Philip was on the other side, and Grandma was in all her glory. So it was just a precious time and worked out so good. Let's see here. Then yesterday, I got to sit in the most gorgeous weather after my walk and watch Detroit Tigers with my husband, which that is his favorite. His entire office is built on vintage collectibles from the Detroit Tigers. And, you know, most of you know we're originally from Michigan. And that is just his love. And no matter how they score, it's U of M, and then it's Detroit Tigers. So it was just a really nice afternoon. Okay, I'm 10 minutes in. I haven't shown any stitching, but we are catching up. But let me take one break, and I will go through my whips with you. And let's see, the first one I shared with you last time, and I did a little more work. I took it to my dad's and did 0 stitching, just talking. But this is, I did get progress on my Santa. I shared with you that I really can't, this will be available. It's one of my biggest designs. Actually, it would be my biggest. And I can only hint to you that this will be the first design where you see Santa and Mrs. Claus together. So I am using the red Cupid. It is, to me, when the piece is bigger like this, it is so worthy of some of your dyed floss. So over here is the start of just a simplistic Christmas tree, but I really love him so much, and I'm having fun stitching on this fabric. I think I eventually pulled the tag off, but I can get it for you. Just one second. It's weird when I can't show you the actual pattern cover. This is 28 count Lugana Cyprium by Picture This Plus. And these are, let me get this worked over here for you. There we go. Oopsie. These are the colors. So, anyways, it's been fun. And so the Cupid is by Classic Color Works. And it just, if you put it on here, you can see the variegation, and it is so beautiful. It's so beautiful to work with. Oopsie. So that is my progress I made on my Santa. Okay, the next one was I worked on, I had hoped for this to be finished. This is Owl Forest embroidery. And this is Red Cardinals. This is a sal that I was doing with Becca of Sambry Stitches. And I am not sure if I've seen any progress on hers. My goal was to finish this up in March. However, it didn't happen. That's okay. But this is where I'm at. I did work on it yesterday. And let me tell you, there will be a finish this week. I will say that the green is the only color that I am incredibly short on. I am pulling, I knew because it was Owl Forest and I'd never worked with their designs, and when I got their threads, I have kept every little ort. I just wasn't sure how it would go, so I am down to using my orts, and I only need this much. So I really think I'm gonna pull it off. I am what you would probably call a little bit of a wasteful stitcher when it comes to my threads. I really don't try to play games with it, and I probably should have been a little more conservative, just knowing that, but all the other colors seem to have so much. So anyways, I've hit my corner here. All I've got to do is one more lantern, come this way and finish the bird. I've got one here, but it's so close. So my plans are that it will be done and I will get to show it to you, or it'll be at the framers by my next FlossTube episode. So this is Red Cardinal by Owl Forest Embroidery, and the chart has just been so wonderful to work with, but I'm excited to finish so that I can start. I think I know I shared the pattern with you before that I'm going to do with Linda, and that is called Christmas Bears. And I'm just going to do the bears separate. So their floss, I went ahead and I got it as a download. So, but their floss comes in this little baggie when I ordered it, and let me show you. I'm gonna just use my same bag. Sorry about that. But it tells you right on there that it's for the Christmas bears. And let me get them in my hand here for you. But this is what you get. And then on each thread, it gives you your own floss drop with the number on it. So it's really nice. You just untie that little thing and you untwist them, and you go ahead and you wrap your tag. And they're just beautiful flosses to work with. So I'm excited to just turn right around and work on I believe I'll finish them as ornaments, and they're adorable. So next week, hopefully I can show you which one I picked out for my Christmas bears. And I will have red cardinal sampler all finished up. And I do need to add my mom's initials to the female cardinal. Yesterday I could not believe how many cardinals I saw when I went out for my run. I had to have saw about 6 or 7 of them. They fly in and out of the bushes that are on the sidewalk that I walk on, and it's crazy. They're so close. They are not afraid of people at all, and it's so fun to see, and I love seeing both the female and the male. So anyways, that was my whips, except I also had a start and a finish and an FFO, which is a fully finished object. And that was my new release this week. So let me show you that. I had Scarecrow Jack was my first fall release, but I really wanted to do some pilgrim mice. And yet I still want it to be something that if somebody didn't want mice on their pattern, that they could easily change it up. So I do like this part of the designing. I like coming up with something where the stitcher can feel free to modify it. So this is my newest release, and it is called Bountiful Blessings. Now, you can see over here, I made it into a pillow. And what I did was I put the word Bountiful Blessings in the middle. And I did that, one, because I liked that it was the center, that it was a reminder to us of these bountiful blessings that we have. But what's really cute is I absolutely love these pilgrim mice. She's got a little half a pumpkin on her tray. He's holding a basket of corn. I gotta tell you, I had a really good time with this one. So, but perchance that mice aren't your thing, or you wanted something smaller, I made it easy enough that you could either do one or the other or both. So you could just do the top and have the pilgrim family. Get in there so you can see them. I added a couple chickens because I love chickens. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, that they just would have been free-ranging somewhere. But then if you wanted to go the other way, if you really wanted to have a whimsical, let me do it this way so it's not going to work. If you really just wanted to have a whimsical stitch for Thanksgiving, you could just do it this way with the words on top. So I was looking for, if y'all recall, I have a green tray. I did a couple of trays last year, and I did a green tray for my Thanksgiving or fall pieces. First I started, with fall, and then I added in my Thanksgiving pieces. So I do have my Brenda Gervais in there, which was it was Harvest something, but it was what came with the Women of the Mayflower. I stitched that first, turned it into a pillow. I have a small little green sampler that I added my mom's name to. I have Manny Dodana's little pilgrim pin cushion with the number 1620 in it, and I needed something bigger to put towards the back, and so I weighted this really, really good with the crushed walnut shells, so it will stand up on its own no matter where I put it. And then on the back, I finished it like this. You can see this is where the stuff stops. But I just took a piece of the fabric I used and I sprayed it with some starch, folded it inside, and pinned it with an old key. This is the red, like the burgundy velvet, the sticky velvet that you can get from Amazon. So that's where I covered my seam. And I just put a little piece of the red on the bottom. So if I get into the details of the piece, anyways, I hope you saw it enough. It was, let me pull out my stuff, the information on it. It is 100 by 120, and I stitched it on, a second here, 28 count. Picture This Plus Brash, B-R-A-S-H. I love this linen. I love it, especially for fall. It has some great modeling in it, but not too much. I really can't tell you how much I had such a good time with this one, and the colors and the difference between fall muted, and I loved this blue. Loved that, adding that in on the little quilt. I did the quilt because I thought the mice might just put a blanket down and sit down with their snacks. Anyways, I did finish it off with Lady Dot Creates, and this is her Rick Rack, her hand dyed, and it's called Mother Love. Mother Love. And the fabric I used on the back is by Henry Glass, and it is called Scrap Happy by Janet Red Nesbitt of One Sister Designs. So that was this, and let me see if I got the little red one must have dropped. But either way, you know, this will be the giveaway this week. So the word is, we'll just say blessing. Actually, I've used that before. So if we'll give away this pattern. I did love last week. The winner just wanted, she emailed me and she was very happy to just have me email her the copy. And that worked out great because she had it instantly. So this will be this week's giveaway. Let's go ahead and just use the word, I guess we could use pilgrim. And just remember, you know, the rules to how this all works. We've heard it so many times, so it's just the same thing. Just make sure that you don't use words like win, draw, that it's just absolutely sticks within the stitching community, and you have to be 18 years or older, because when you reach out to me, which you can do that via email, you have to be over 18 because I'm going to need your address. So this is it, and I hope you like it. Okay, so let me put that one aside. And like I said, it's 100 wide by 120 high, unless you decide to modify the stitch for your own liking, which you know how I feel about that. I love it. Make it your own, make it work for your house, and your own style. Okay, I'll move that out of the way. All right, okay, so that was my start and finish, and I believe that was all there was as far as the stitching that I did. I did not work anymore on designing or reproducing Margette, the hopefully the Mother's Day sale, which I'm pretty confident. I got so much other stuff done. So that's what I'm going to work on today. I always allow Sunday to be the day for, you know, that I stitch or do for me. And I wanted to finish and get some whips going. And I just, when I fell in love with the Bountiful Blessings, I really didn't want to put it down. I had no intention of finishing it. I did not think that it would be something that I would release. But I was so happy that I did, because I truly believe you should stitch on what you're in the mood to stitch on. I really don't follow a regimen of any sort. So it was just a surprise that I got that one all done, and I'm glad. So now I'm really ready to get back at the computer, and I thought I would share her one more time with you, because I mentioned, hold on one second here. this over here. Okay, so let me just, in case you did miss it, this is Margaret Alice Parker, age 8 years old, and she finished this in 1861. Now, let me put this behind her. There. So, that's still going to be hard for you to see. Does that help at all? There. So this is the sampler that I purchased that I am reproducing, and I am all the way down to here. So this is where I'll be working tonight, is on the words. And I had mentioned to you that I was so surprised that on the back that it's primarily red work, but there is, cover it up again, right here is purple. It's almost like a light lavender as well as here. And it's hard to tell. She just cracks me up. Look at all her, look at her, all her threads. And as much as, you know, these are the ones that I just fall in love with. These ones where these little girls, you know, ran out of room over here. Let's see if I put this back for you. The sun must be in just the perfect spot. And I'm trying to be so gentle, but you know, she just ran out of room. And so she just, you know, kind of like a little return and filled it in. But I think I absolutely love these, and I am so happy that so many of you are thrilled. This was something that just touched my heart. It was the words that did it, the verse. Happy the children who are gone to live with Christ and see his face, who stand around his glorious throne, redeemed by blood and saved by grace. I shared my story a couple of FlossTubes back. I absolutely, as much as this is battered and bruised, I'm just thrilled to own it, and I will have to figure out if it's something that I can salvage to frame, but I have a backup idea that I'm pretty excited about that may work. It's nailed into the sides here, and there's just not a lot left to work with. So let me wrap Margaret back up, and I will just say that as far as I know is the minute I am done, designing, I will start. I have the linen, I have the threads, and I really believe that we're going to do this. I really believe that we will have a Mother's Day start. Now, it'll be a PDF download, but I believe that was the goal. That would be Sunday, May 8th. And maybe by next FlossTube, I will share my start and the threads that I'm using, so that if you want to get out and get them, I've received overwhelming messages of those who are ready to start this with me on a Mother's Day sale, and it's incredibly special. So I will keep you informed so that that's something that you don't have to wait for if time becomes a crunch. Other than that, there's always DMC, and we can always get to it quickly. Okay, so that was the update on Margaret Alice Parker, and I'm just excited. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. But one, I'm doing something new, and two, it's just a very special piece, and I'm excited to be part of the world that can reproduce history. So, okay, all right. Let's see. What did I get for haul? Not very much. So I think last time, because I shared with you when I came home from Brick City Cross Stitch, I did most of my haul there. But so this week I didn't have as much, and that's okay. I did find on eBay Snowy Nights by the Prairie Schooler, and this is in cardstock. And I loved, I have watched several of you on Instagram who have stitched like just some of these small ones. I've seen this one stitched. I've seen this one, and they are so cute. So for just to have a small piece ready to go, Prairie Schooler is the way to go. So I did pick that up and loved it. That is one. And then my next one, this is part 6 of the Tiny Modernist Stitch Along. It is the, this one is called Fright Night. And this was through Annie B's, and this is 12. There will be 12. This is 12-part ornament series, and this is part 6. I got it so it comes with the same linen, and I'm glad that I went ahead and did that so that they'll all match, because I haven't started one. I have, and that's okay. That's kind of why I did this. They are going to be fun to pick up when I need to pick them up, and especially when we get towards, you know, Halloween. I would be happy if I got 1 or 2 of them done. But I am having my own fun this year, and I think that that's okay. I am loving stitching on Beulah and the Halloween that I already have, so I'm not worried about it if that is a next year Halloween adventure. Okay, so that was all of my haul. I did have some, oh wait a minute, one more. 1 second here. It's kind of silly, but I fell in love with it. And so, all it is a vision. That's all it is, a little bit of inspiration. I came across this adorable fabric with mice on it. Just mice in the field. And then I fell in love with this one as a coordinating fabric, and they're both at Joann's. And then I picked out floss. Let's see if I can make it look a little prettier for you. So I grabbed some floss for the inspiration, and then they had this little, I miss painting. I used to do ceramics, so every now and then I'll find something. But I came across this little, let's see, wood mouse. Now, I'm clueless, but it's gonna be something, and I think it's gonna be something cute. So I grabbed the little mouse, and you will notice that Joann's is filled with some mice in their towels and all their little spring summer things that they carry. So it was right up my alley. But anyways, I wanted to share with you that, and hopefully I'll figure out what that's going to be soon. All right, now I also got, oh, I guess there is one more. This came from, it's fabric, and I will share that it is going to be the fabric for the Santa design that I'm working on right now, and I wanted some really special fabric to back it. Even though it's a bigger piece, it's bigger and longer. So horizontally, it's long and skinny, and I definitely want to make it into a pillow, and I absolutely fell in love with this vintage fabric. So I forgot that was underneath my bag. That came from, I can tell you, if you like the fabric, 1 second here. It is Sherry's Love Comforts, and it is I Sell Discontinued Children's Fabric. Let's see if I can get that in there for you. And she was on Etsy. You can see right down there. So she had very quick shipping, and I will make sure that all the links are down there for you. But this fabric is, I don't know if I got it close enough for you, but it is just precious, just precious. And it's, you know, this is how I see Christmas, this exact way. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just always, Christmas is always going to be more whimsical to me than primitive in nature, even though I love it when I see primitive Christmas. It's just, this is how I tend to decorate when it comes to Christmas. I'm all about the kid. Okay. Oh, geez, I guess don't ask me how I got things. I think this just came yesterday, that's why it was in the wrong pile. But I caught this on eBay, and it's called a colonial garden. And it's called the Abecedarian. It's old, but I loved that. It's not too big. I really like it. So one day, it's definitely, the house is a little hard to read. I think I will have to blow it up. Everything else is great, but the house itself is a little hard to see the symbols. So we'll see. Okay, now Happy Mail. Happy Mail was so cute. This was the sweetest thing. Hold on one second here. It was put together so nicely. And it was from Karen, and I won't say any other names like that. She reached out in an email and asked if she could share some things with me. They came with an adorable, beautiful card. And I actually had forgot that she had emailed me. So when it came, I think that's why they call it Happy Mail, because it just catches you by surprise, and it does. So she did this really cute thing, and she put Post-its on every section of what she sent. So the first one was your love of Halloween stitching. And so what she sent me, and I'm keeping these Post-its, was she sent me the Lizzie Kate Plumpkin, the snippet. You know how I collect Lizzie Kates. So I'm excited for that. Love it so much. I want to put the Post-it back on because I just thought that it was kind of like walking through a story. And then she sent me, this is called Charmables. Look how cute. So that was cute. And then this is by Just Nan, and it's called Which Way. Now let me go ahead and slide it out of the screen protector. It's from 2003. Which Way. Really cute, really, really cute. And this has a really nicely clear pattern, so I'm excited about that. So those three were the Halloween, and then it was just so fun. This one is Just Because. So now I got to get to this Just Because section, and take it off so you can see it. This is, I might need my glasses for on this one. One second here. It's it's for a little dog. It's a little dog sampler, which we have many dogs, so you see it. But that's so cute. It's really cute. And let me put this one back on here. And then this one, which is another adorable sampler. These are cute. These little ones, oh my goodness. There we go. Coming in. She's so sweet. And it says, "'Tis Noel" by the Primitive Angel. Or maybe it is Primitive Angel. Hold on one second. I believe it's... yeah. Oh, You and I and Friends. Sorry. Anyway, so these are just the perfect size fillers. Okay. And then this one was, you immediately came to mind with this, Enjoy. Now this one is by Bent Creek. I can pull it out for you. How cute. And of course, you know, why did it immediately come to mind? Because look at don't forget to floss. I mean, seriously, how cute is that? And the name of it is Floss. So it says, wear your mittens, eat your vegetables, don't forget to floss. That right there, oh my gosh, she had my heart. And then the last was the sweetest, and it just says, amen. And I gotta tell you, that was just the perfect end to the perfect mail. So this is called Bless Our Family by Lizzie Kate. And that one's so cute. And then this one is called, let me pull it out, just the picture so I don't show the pattern. It's just Prayer Changes Everything. Prayer changes things. And how true is that? So I cannot thank you enough, Karen. This was just, it was a real treat to just follow your little yellow brick road of happiness. So thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Last week I shared my bag that I got for when I go to retreats or even Stitchin or whatever. And then this week I did want to say that I did design. It needs to be cutified, Chrissified, or whatever. So I did go ahead, and I'll just show it to you, but I did go ahead and design myself a little tag to hang off of the straps of the retreat bag. So this is what I've got so far, and absolutely I'm not sure I'm all the way finished, but I'm pretty confident because it doesn't need to be much. This here, I will just fill in either satin stitch or pick a color for the floss on the spool, and then she's sewing and has her little strawberry. I put a few little French knots on, and then I put my name on it. So I will play around with that, and should it be something that anybody's interested in, please feel free to say so, and I can turn it into something. But I wanted something that was represented who I was, to be able to put on the bag and use it where if I didn't want to put my name, or if I wanted to use it again, for a small, I could. And I also took Scarecrow Jack. I wanted him in a small for myself. Stitchy Linda, my friend, if you recall, she stitched the model for me. And so that is something when, because she lives locally, she's gonna, it's at Brick City right now on display. If I ever needed it to share, I could easily grab it from her. But I did want my own Scarecrow, and so I did put together a smaller version of just Jack for myself. And again, if this is something you'd like to see in the shop, just please message me. I don't mind sharing little things like that. But if it's something that you think that you'd want to have, just let me know. But for me, I wanted to have something small out of that pattern that I could either make a scissor fob. That's kind of my idea, would be to have a scissor fob of Jack. So that was that. Okay, we are at 43 minutes, and I believe we've got a few more things to talk about, and we did pretty good. Who did I watch this week? I watched the Bougie Stitchers. They are Bougie, my goodness, let me get my mouth to work here. Bougie Sisters. They just crack me up. So I caught one of their episodes. I do know they're going to be at Stitchcon, I believe, weekend A. I watched the Nightly Stitcher again. I love watching her. That was the third FlossTube episode. And I watched Stacy Stitches. Thank you, Stacy, for the shout out. That was so nice of you. She is another Florida Stitcher. And it's STACIE and then Stitches. That is her FlossTube name. She is on Instagram, and she also has a shop of her own. Her husband does some beautiful woodworking, so you could check her out. And I watched Melissa, who's another Florida Stitcher, of Neely's Needle Nest. So the last two that I mentioned, and Erin, there's a few more, but I wanted to mention real quick. I mentioned to you last week that the Saturday before Mother's Day is May 7th, and I wanted to go ahead and add a little what's happening part to my FlossTube just in case. And I wanted to let you know that Brick City Cross Stitch has invited me to join in on a luncheon where it's called Stitching with the Flossies, and I will be there with about, I believe it's 4 other FlossTubers who are local to this area. So she called it Stitching with the Flossies. It's an event that is hosted by Brick City Cross Stitch, and there are still a few spots left, so I wanted to just mention it here in case you wanted to give Brick City Cross Stitch a call. If you are local or if you are in the area, you know, we have a lot of people in Florida that come and go. So if perchance you're here, there are a few spots left. It includes lunch and then shopping after, and then each of the floss tubers will rotate to each table, so we all get a chance to stitch together. And Melissa is part of that, and Stacy's part of that, and Erin is part of that. And so I will make sure that I link each of their channels below so that you can go give them a watch. Erin is fabulous at her finishes. She just does some beautiful finishes. And anyway, and Melissa did the red cardinal sale with me. So I wanted to make sure that if you happen to want to have your Mother's Day or not Mother's Day, you know, be a little bit extended, you know, please join us on Saturday, May 7th. I would love to come and stitch with you. Let's see. Okay, so plans. I am going to finish my red cardinal sale, and that makes me so happy because then I will be ready for my Easter Day start, which is His Eyes on a Sparrow. I shared that with you last week. I have all my threads ready to go, and I'm really excited. I have been ready for over a year on this one to start. I am starting that with Becca of Sambry Stitches. If it's something that you want to join in, please just let me know. I would love to know that others are stitching it with me. It always feels so great to have a finish like that. You know, that's something you've been working on for a while, and then open the doors for something new. Anyways, okay, and then I do know since it's the 10th this week, the 13th is going to be happening, which means I love to do my dark 13 stitching. So it is hashtag dark 13 stitching, and you can do anything, you know, that you want to stitch on. It can be Halloween related, just dark and theme. I've been stitching on my Twin Peak Primitives Haunted Halloween Sampler sale, and I will put a little more work in that, but I'm also going to use the day, because I try to give myself a full 24 hours of stitching when there's a theme, like even on the 25th with the Lori Holt and Chrissy of Crosshatch Quilts, they have the 25th day stitching sale. So it's similar, and I try to give myself a full day's worth of stitching on that theme. So for the dark 13 stitching, I will work on my Twin Peak Primitives, but I also have my next Beulah pattern ready to go, and I would like to start stitching on that model. So anyways, it's really cute. I'm excited to see how she turns out. I will keep you posted. And I think that's mostly it for next week's plans. Besides, you know, that we have Easter with the family on Sunday, and an Easter egg hunt for the grandkids, and it'll just be a nice day. It's going to be at my dad's this year, so I'm looking forward to it. I really hope this weather holds on. Okay, and the last thing, a couple of things here. The last thing I wanted to share was part of the conversation my dad and I were laughing at was I have been still getting organized. I finally used my DMC floss boxes that I picked up, and I'm using that for my own designs. They're the colors that I tend to use the most. So I finally took 5 seconds yesterday and got those organized and the way that I like them. I also have tons and tons of buttons that were my mom's, and my dad and I just got talking, and we were talking about how much stash my mom had and that I have, and we all talk about our collection. And the yarn, even though I primarily cross stitch, there's used to have quite a bit of yarn. And I was just telling my dad that I think sometimes as a stitcher, as a crafter, we don't like to get rid of. To me it's not a hoarding situation. It's a collecting situation, and we certainly don't. It's not easy to let go of things. So these buttons they're newer. They're more for like if you were knitting or anything like that. I don't have a tremendous use for them, but it's hard to let go. They were Mom's, and it's hard to let go because I think I was explaining to him that I think sometimes stitchers worry about what's coming next. We have stitchers that have had carpal tunnel. We have stitchers that, ultimately over time, our eyes struggle and what size can we see? And we know that our stitching or crafting journey is going to change, whether it's with age or something else. So I said, Dad, I think sometimes we hoard the yarn because if I can't cross stitch, I can certainly crochet. And so I think there's just that sense that we hold on to things that we aren't even really regularly using because there could come a day. And so that brought me to just a story that I've never shared with you about my grandmother Beekman. It's my mom's mom, and her name was Ginny. And she had cross-stitched for years. I've shared with you her crazy quilting. She's done it all. She taught me to crochet. She's done a gamut. She quilted. But as age happens, her eyesight started deteriorating, and she ended up with macular degeneration. And so eventually, although not blind 100%, she could no longer see many things, and especially colors became hard. And so it was funny. She had a huge, not funny. She always had a way of keeping things to the positive, where you were going to go next. Always keep your hands in motion, constantly, keep yourself going, whether it's a 5-minute walk or an hour walk. Her philosophy was keep your body moving. And she lived till she was 94. At the end, it was so cool because she used her featherweight. Her favorite machine was her featherweight. And it is the same machine that my mom had and then now I own. And I just wanted to share with you a story about my grandma. And I'm sorry, this is laminated so that I can keep it safe. But this is my grandmother. And she lived on Nettles Island, Florida. And she actually, as time went by, the quilting was not going to happen anymore. The cross-stitching wasn't going to happen anymore. But what she did was she bought children's flannel fabrics, and then she made she would just cut them into squares, and she would sew the little whimsical flannel pieces together, and she would make a rag quilt that she could snip right here, and then she would gift them to children in need, or if she heard a story about somebody's grandchild that was struggling with a cause, a cancer, or this, or special needs or anything, she would gift them the blanket. And so in the last several years of her life, she had gifted, I believe, 99 blankets. And so I wanted to just share, this was an article. One day she was sitting on a bench. This is a place, Nettles Island, as a kid, it's where we went from Michigan to Florida to stay with them at Christmas time. And she had always had a place there. So ultimately, this was an article in the Pineapple Post. How cute is that? And it was a woman in there, and her name was Pearl. And so her name was Pearl Flaherty, and she was the reporter who did this within Nettles Island, this community. And now they call her Jenny, but her name was Ginny, Ginny, and her first name was Virginia, obviously. But she goes on to share the story, and she says she wanted to talk to her, and my grandma says, well, I can't really see you. I have macular degeneration. And they started to become acquainted, so I'm just going to quickly go through and piece through some of this kind of stuff. But she said that she has been coming to Nettles Island since 1974, and it's a little known jewel in the Jensen Beach area, and she was right about that. My grandmother invited her into her house to show her how she spends her life since losing her sight 11 years ago. She spent the morning oohing and eyeing over the beautiful and unusual treasured quilts she has made over the years, and they were beautiful, just like my mom's, and learned how this spry, at the time she was 89, talented quilter and seamstress is making a difference in the young lives on and off Nettles Island. Okay, so the woman Pearl goes by Grandma Pearl is her name, and it was so cute. But she goes and looks at the blankets and holds it up, and my grandma's deal was always, she would even teach the kids, if they wanted to learn how to want to make one for themselves, she would do that. But she would also tell them, if I teach you how, then you can make one for yourself, but you also have to then make one for someone else. And that was always her deal. So anyways, if you go on down, it talks about a few other things. And she said that, yes, Ginny Beekman, who no longer can read or drive a car, is still lovingly making a difference by giving and by teaching children how they too can make a difference stitch by stitch. Blankets wrap you in warmth and quilts wrap you in love. And may we all, dear reader, strive in some manner to make a difference in our golden years. So I just wanted to take 2 seconds to share this with you. And I know that it was one of those things that I've always meant to bring it out. And I think the timing was just perfectly, because we struggle, and I struggle with all these things that over the years we've crafted with. And I think it made perfect sense to me when I was sharing with my dad, we hold on to these things because we aren't sure if my eyes give up, then I need to do something else. If I can't sew on a Bernina, then I can, maybe a featherweight will work, because, it's just, if you can't do quilt piecing, then maybe you can cut in small squares. And if I can't use a sewing machine, then maybe I can stitch in hand. And if I can't see to do so, it just goes on. And I love the fact that she never gave up. She never gave up. She may not have been able to do what she loved to do at first, but she turned it into something else, and she turned it into something good. And the Lord used her in a big way. I don't know whether she saw it like that. I think it's what made her feel so good inside to continue giving back. And that is why I'm so thankful for how you have all helped with the Prevent Child Abuse pattern. It's one stitch at a time. It's, one small change at a time. So I am going to leave you with that sweet story of my grandmother. And no matter where our stitching journey takes us, we can always make a difference. And, I thank you so much for being with me on my stitching journey. And I wish you the best week. I wish you a wonderful Easter if I don't talk to you before then. And I hope that you will always, always, always know that I absolutely love our time together and love your comments and messages. I thank you so much for supporting my business, and I will see you next week. Please do not forget to floss.